a while since we've talked to you, and I want to talk about a vehicle because that's what this channel is all about, is vehicles. I thought I'd give you impressions. You've seen, people have been watching me for a while. You know, I've had quite a few different cars, and I've worked on quite a few different cars. And I wanted to give you some impressions of a couple of cars. And the first one is going to be this one that I'm driving now. This is going to be for the budget-minded people. This is a 2009 Hyundai Elantra, however you want to say it. It's an automatic. It is a 4-speed overdrive, or a 3-speed with an overdrive, 4th gear. It does have a lockout torque converter, you can feel it. And it is a 2.0 4-cylinder. Now it's got 82,000 miles on it. We had the 90,000 mile service done on it, which was the timing belt and water pump. I suggest that. It looks like something that you could do relatively easy. However, we're on the road full time. I no longer have my garage that I can do the kind of work that I used to. And we're in an RV park. I really didn't want to mess with that. So Heidi will turn you around here. My wife, she'll show you basically the car a little bit. So the car, we had made some changes to it. We went ahead and added a different radio. I'll tell you, the factory radio in this thing really stinks if you got just a single DIN radio. So the double DIN dash piece you can get on Amazon. We'll put the link in the description of the video. So if you want to do this and convert this on yours, you can. And then buy this surround piece that just clips in. Then at that point, you can buy whatever double DIN you want. Now in this case, we've got a Sony. Again, I'll put the link down below for that. It's a very good stereo, and for the factory speakers, I'm surprised. The car itself has a lot of little storage compartments throughout. We have pretty much a space for everything that we need. There's one up on the dash, which the GPS is in the way. This one here, we have a remote control in. There's some others that are, of course, the armrest and stuff like that. Now, right now we're on the road. We're going from Florida back to Ohio, and the car is a Florida car. So you got a lot of sun fade, but the interior has done a pretty good job resisting it, considering there's no window tint in here at all, which I'm shocked, to tell you the truth. The interior isn't falling apart, falling apart after all these years of being in the sun. So the car itself, the driving characteristics of it, I can compare it for you old school guys. I would say it reminds me of like a, let's see, an Escort. An old Escort, like a 90s Escort. That's what it feels like as far as driving it. The power, the steering, the response, the ride, the wind noise. It reminds me of like a 92, maybe even an earlier, maybe an 88 Escort. Now, of course, those cars didn't have a lot of power. This one does a little bit better than that. The gas mileage on this, from what I can tell, is pretty darn good. So far we've gone 275 miles, and this is on just one single 12-gallon tank. Whenever you're running 88 miles an hour like we are now, you're at about 3,200 RPM. The steering is pretty responsive. It does have tilt steering. This isn't a decked out model. It does have power windows and power locks, power mirrors. The seats are not power heated. The air conditioning works well. It did need recharge in our case. But the car is pretty comfortable. I'm 6 foot tall, 270 pounds, and I'm pretty darn comfortable with the way it is. And I still have room to go back more. It does have a pass-through storage from the trunk, which is nice. Give you a little bit extra room, but a lot of the newer cars do, or cars that are of this era and newer. The gas mileage, though, was the thing that really interested me in the first place. It's not exceptional, but you're still talking 33 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good, considering that this is a four-door car that has very good room for 4 passengers. I feel as if I could sit in the back, not necessarily behind my seat right now, how far I have it back, but behind my wife's seat, Heidi's. I'm sure I can fit back there. But I just wanted to kind of talk about the car. This is something that we've been driving for I don't know how many weeks now. And it's been doing very good for us. We're going to see what kind of gas mileage we get overall on this trip. And yeah, and you can see, I mean, we've been traveling along here at 80 miles an hour, even though, yes, everybody's going to notate that. Speed limit 70. We're moving just kind of with the flow of traffic. But the vehicle is a much better buy than I expected. Now, the reason that we got into this car is because the Hyundai, Kia being, you know, similar brands, both made basically in the same manner, in the same place. We had a Kia Rondo. My wife had a Kia Rondo and she loved it. We sold the Kia Rondo whenever we started traveling, and we actually, which you'll see if you want to look on a review, we bought a new Kia, and that's what we're picking up back in Ohio. In the meantime, though, we had this car to run around in Florida, so I wasn't driving that big 2020 F350 around. I was very impressed with that truck. But whenever we're driving around city to city, running for groceries, you know, parking lot to parking lot, the truck is a little overwhelming. So hence the reason we had this car, and hence the reason we bought another one that we're going to pick it up. So we'll follow through on this near the end of the trip and give you our final thoughts. But I want to talk about the car because there's not a lot of information on used cars anymore like there used to be, and I'm thinking that might be something I might want to dabble into in the future. I want you guys that have been watching me for a while, in the comments, I know a lot of you came on because we redid our travel trailer roof. I know a lot of you came on because we had did repairs in the household. I know a lot of you came on because of the repairs I was doing on the old body style Ford trucks. I understand that, but I'm just kind of curious what kind of content you guys might want to continue to see. And I will explore the possibility of this channel expanding. And one of the things I've always been wanting to do is picking out old cars and getting them to run again. I love doing that. So just let me know what you think, and we will pick it up again. First fuel stop, we went ahead and just went a little bit further down the road, and the gas mileage on this thing is pretty good. I mean, I've been running what you saw as far as those speeds, and we are, let's see, went 293.8 miles. Let me show you that. There you go. I don't know how well you can see that, but 293.8. And we used 10.168 gallons of gas. Now, again, a little bit of that was city driving just to get out of the city. But other than that, that's all been highway driving at more than highway speed. I mean, I've been running 74 to 84 miles an hour for 293 miles. 28.89 miles to the gallon. I'm going to call it 29 miles to the gallon. That is good. This vehicle, like I said, has 82,000 miles on it, and it is getting almost 30 miles to the gallon on the highway at those kind of speeds. That's I consider exceptional, tell you the truth, for an older vehicle like this. Let's go ahead and show you the vehicle. Let's go ahead and walk around. All right, you can see just a little tiny engine in here, but not too tiny. I mean, you've got these things that are 1.6 liters now. Usually they have turbos on them, but nonetheless, it's a 2-liter. Dual overhead cam, 16 valve, and very quiet, and very quiet. Of course, we've done oil changes, and like I said, the timing service. The car, as far as the aesthetics of it overall, it's a appealing car, unassuming. Let's just say unassuming is the way that I'm going to describe this the best. Around $4,000, you should be able to pick these cars up pretty easily with 100,000 miles on them. Now, as far as the interior, very messy, so apologies, but I did want to show it to you. There's the front end. You can see, of course, you got some seat wear that's going on there. This stuff here is going to vary depending. Just got some basic trim to fit floor mats. And the back seat, again, sorry, it's so messy. But I wanted to give you an idea how much room you have. Now, like I said, sitting behind my seat at this point with my seat all the way back the way that it is, you can't really tell, but there's not a lot of room there. You do have a fold down here, so you got a couple cup holders for the passengers, and then the pass through going into the trunk. And then in the back here, you can see we have quite a bit in here. There's a decent amount of room. I'm shocked with how much, as far as the opening's concerned, how well you can get big items in. They have this position so that this lip doesn't protrude. That's why you have this drop on the trunk here, on the lid. So yeah, I think that for the money, you're looking at a pretty decent vehicle. I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't make this purchase again. Maybe with some more options inside, like heated seats or something. But that's pretty much it. All right, spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. We're making pretty good time. We're getting close to Charlotte here, I believe. Anyways, another 293 miles, 294 miles, 293.9. So we'll just call it 294. And we used 8.599, so we'll just call that 8.6 gallons. And we are averaging 34 miles to the gallon. Awesome. All right, so here we are, 1,100 miles later. We went through a couple of heavy rainstorms. These Michelin Defender tires, which I'm a big fan of, we had them on, of course we have them on this car now, but we had them on our son's van. This thing has the Defenders on them. I had them on my, if you remember this right, my 97 F250, the old blue and white 460 truck, and on my 95 F150, the dark green extended cab truck. I had those Michelin Defenders on all these, and it's just been just spectacular. Now look for in the future maybe me talking about this van on a video. This was my son's camper van, and he's going to sell this. He's going to stop van life. It's got solar on the roof, max fan. He's got 2 AGM batteries in there. He has 2 batteries underneath the hood with charging. He's got a generator back here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes to this van. It's an awesome camper van. If you want to check out our other channel, RV Daydream, I did a video on this camper van. Just look in my playlist for camper van. I might put a link up above here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that or not the way I'm posting this video, but yeah, he's going to sell this van. Overall, what do we think about the car though, to close this out? It was a very good car. Doesn't ride as good as our new car. I'll be doing a review on this one. Look for that. We just picked it up. We drove it probably about 40 miles. We drove it about another 35 miles, and we're getting ready to drive back to Florida with it, so I'll talk about that in much more detail. But in the meantime, this car here, the gas mileage has fluctuated on the highway anywhere between 32 and 34 miles to the gallon, driving at 75 to 85 miles per hour. It handles very well. It does really good in the rain. It didn't hydroplane at all with these tires, and we were in some heavy downpours. And when I'm talking about the heavy downpours, these are the storms that brought tornadoes to Kentucky, Tennessee. There was quite a few places that got hit pretty hard. There was one in Ada, Ohio. We drove up through those storms, and this thing performed very well. Holds the road well. Good steering car. Just a very comfortable car overall. And I wanted to do a review on it because I don't see, people that have had older cars. Normally it's like this. I'm going to be doing a review on a 2022, and you get a bunch of those, but as the cars get older, and this one now at about 84,000 miles, how it holds up, and it did very well. I was very happy with it. So if you're looking for a car that you might be buying your kids for college, for school, Hyundai Elantra with the 2.0 with the automatic, obviously look for the major stuff as far as transmission issues or stuff like that. but it's a good car. Now, the only problems that we've had with it, like I said, the door locks are a little funky. Sometimes they want to unlock all the doors. Sometimes it don't want to lock all the doors back up if you use the power stuff. Now, there is a key fob available for this, but we don't have it. He's going to go get that at some point. And the only other thing is the Tpms. When we had these tires installed, the Tpms light occasionally comes on and goes off. The low pressure sensor still works because I can deflate the tire and it will kick up a code on the dash or pop up a light. So it's still working. It's just, I think during its checks as you're driving, it does something a little strange and it doesn't understand it. Other than that, no problems whatsoever. So closing this out after a long video here, and again, look forward to the Kia Forte. We'll be talking about that in the future, and go back and check out the video on the van. And again, I'll be posting one a little bit later, but this one's on our other channel, RV Daydream, and you can check out the overall look of that van and what we did to it. But Hyundai Elantra 2009 2.0 with an automatic, very good vehicle, and I would highly suggest it. That's one of the reasons we bought it, and it hasn't disappointed at all. I appreciate you guys watching, and check in next time with Fox Boss 9. Thanks.